Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to this video. This is going to be a mini-series which is going to be based on Ben 10 because it's my favorite show. It's not going to be based on gaming. This mini-series is different from my other gaming videos. So yeah, guys, let's start the video.
The Omnitrix was developed by Azimuth of the Galvan to promote interstellar peace after his previous invention, Ascalon, brought upon violence. As an apology to his lover, Zenith, the Omnitrix can preserve over 1 million DNA samples in which the user can then transform into that being for a period of time. With a genetic database larger than anything seen before, the Omnitrix can act as a backdrive for the universe in case any species go extinct. While at first the DNA was collected personally by Azimuth's assistant Myax, he developed a series of worker drones known as Veliscus Biopsis, which would then fly around the galaxy and sample DNA. When the DNA is collected, it is then brought back to the artificially grown planet Primus, where it is stored in the codon stream. The codon stream preserves all the Omnitrix's DNA samples, which can then be downloaded to the Omnitrix for use. Contrary to popular belief, the Omnitrix does not need to be constantly synchronized to Primus in order for it to function. Think of Primus as your computer, and the Omnitrix is like an iPod. After downloading music from your computer to your iPod, you can then disconnect your iPod and continue listening to said music without any type of connection to the computer. The Omnitrix can store an inconceivable variety of DNA samples, from organic, inorganic, cosmic, and even multidimensional DNA. However, the samples must be from a species that has a certain level of intellectual sapience. From Earth, the Omnitrix could have human, dolphin, and mouse DNA. But anything lower class with savage feral nature would corrupt the intellectual mind of the user. From what we've seen, the most feral transformation that one can use the Omnitrix to transform into with no repercussions is a Vulpamancer. After the prototype Omnitrix came the Ultimatrix, which came with new features, but new setbacks as well, both of which we can go over later in this video. When Azimuth recalled the Ultimatrix to be dismantled, he gave Ben the completed official Omnitrix. The Omnitrix has an expansive amount of features the user has access to. The main ones are usually depicted with its own special color. The most common use for it is transformation, represented by the color green. After selecting an alien to become, the Omnitrix alters the user's DNA to become a prime version of that species. The result will be the fittest, healthiest version of said alien, and when working properly, downloads the instincts native to that species, allowing the user to automatically know what the aliens are capable of after transformation. Although the Omnitrix only turns you into the species relative to your own age. So, for example, gray matter is the prime example of a Galvan, but a 16-year-old, which is why he's still not as smart as Azimuth. You can see subtle characteristics defining Ben's aliens with age through the 4 series. Upon transformation, the Omnitrix can equip the user with special handicaps needed to sustain the transformation, such as Energy's radiation suit, Goop's anti-gravity projector, and Brainstorm's breathing brace. I never knew that was a breathing brace. Again, the Omnitrix must be working properly for these functions to activate. The Omnitrix can also provide the user with uniforms, some even retaining the elements associated with the alien's homeworld attire. It should be noted that while the show does depict Ben's transformations with a lot of detail and fancy cinematography, these are aesthetics only meant for the audience, as Ben's transformations happen in an instant. The Omnitrix is unable to completely merge the user with artificial beings, and creates incomplete transformations such as Upgrade. This is why Ben's voice is still the same when he is Upgrade, and he's unable to retain his forms when not merged with the technology he's upgrading, unlike pure mechamorphs like Ship. When transformed, the Omnitrix limits the time one can stay as an alien before transforming back to their original form, putting it into recharge mode, the red setting. Each iteration of the Omnitrix handles this differently. The prototype Omnitrix gave Ben a set time limit of 10 minutes per transformation. This was believed to prevent the user from being overwhelmed by the DNA samples as it fuses with Ben's biology itself. When recharging, the Omnitrix remains red until its internal core is refreshed enough to do another transformation. The user can only become one alien before having to default back to their original form, to which they can then select another alien after enough recharge time has passed. Transformations overwhelming the user have been present in aliens like Big Chill, an asexual transformation that forced Ben to hatch 14 offspring during the Necrophrygian's reproduction cycle, and Swampfire, blossoming as a form of puberty. Although it appears that the more experience one has with the Omnitrix, the less of a problem this really is, as future versions of Ben could remain for an alien for hours, even days. Ben would later learn how to switch between alien forms without having to default back to his original human form. The Ultimatrix changed the transformation range to be based on energy instead of time. The user can become an alien for a significantly longer period of time, but changing between alien forms will cause the overall time limit to shorten. The more aliens the user accesses in one sitting, the duration of each transformation is shortened. The official Omnitrix appears to have a combination of both methods, but is relatively unknown even to Ben. However, with this Omnitrix, this can be bypassed to remain as one transformation for an indefinite amount of time using the lifeform lock function or the master control. More on that later. The Omnitrix can also store new DNA samples into a database using its yellow setting, capture mode. Either by touch or an extended projection, the user can replicate any sapient DNA not already stored in the Omnitrix and immediately allow access to DNA as a unique transformation. The blue setting, recalibration mode, has only been seen once. While we've seen that in the future where Ben never takes off the Omnitrix, it continues to grow with Ben's maturing body. We're shown in Ben 10 Returns Part 1, if the Omnitrix is dormant for a long period of time without use, it must first recalibrate when activated before granting access to all of its features again. When recalibrating, the Omnitrix can then change its cosmetics to reflect the alteration. Lastly, we are greeted with the orange setting, or Self-Destruct Mode. Although the Omnitrix is practically indestructible, even by multiversal standards, the one thing that has been shown to actually damage the Omnitrix is itself. This feature's power is designed to completely incapacitate the Omnitrix in a desperate situation. When activated, this mode will destroy the Omnitrix in 30 seconds. But if the charge were to build up long enough, it could destroy the entire universe. The Omnitrix is also...
Now, if you guys want now a part 2 to this video, I'm going to show you guys next time. It's going to be based on the Ultimatrix explanation. And yeah, guys, see you guys next time. Peace out.